Good morning.
Good morning. Is it going to be a good morning? We're hopeful.
We've got some sun peeking through the clouds. It hopefully is going to be a good morning or a sunny morning. For the last 2 weeks, we've had nothing but rain.
So it's a little sunny with a chance of meatballs today, but we're going to venture out anyway.
Yeah, we're going to try to take advantage of this weather while we have it, and we're going to head up to Dyer Park to do some kayaking. By the way, ignore the giant tree trimmings that are all over our yard.
Yeah.
I cut our tree so that we have a clear view of the sky for our Starlink.
It's all about the internets around here. Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
two crazy campers after losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds.
We realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us on a brand new adventure.
And we're on a local adventure today. We are up here at Dyer Park in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Which sounds like a really scary name, like we're in dire straits, but actually this is a very beautiful place.
Yeah, this is a really awesome park, and they have a lot of cool things here. They have ball fields, they have remote control airplane field, they have mountain biking trails, hiking trails. I've actually been here before. I've officiated lacrosse games here. They also have this really nice lake canal back here where you can go canoeing and kayaking. All you have to be able to do is walk your canoe or kayak from the parking lot to down here because there's no ramp to go to.
Which we can do now because we got healthier.
Now here's the cool thing about Dyer Park. You probably don't even know this, but Dyer Park is actually a reclamation project. This used to be a garbage dump.
So basically one person's trash is another person's treasure.
You always see the bright side of things.
I like to.
So here's what we're gonna do today. We have an inflatable kayak from a company called Valwix. I'm gonna leave a link for them down below. We have it in the trunk of our car.
Which is a tiny car, a
It is a tiny car.
Volkswagen Jetta.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that thing out, we're gonna inflate it, we're gonna review it, and we're gonna let you guys know whether or not it's a worthwhile investment for camping.
So this is really cool. We've actually brought this kayak in my Volkswagen Jetta. We did it on purpose. We did not take Joe's truck because we wanted to show you how compact this thing really is because, hey, the fact of the matter is when you are a weekend warrior or you are RVing, space is a big commodity. So you have to decide what are you gonna take and what are you gonna leave behind. And a lot of times we have left behind our canoe and our kayak because it's just so big and bulky. But look how this is really small and compact. We've got plenty of room, even in our small vehicle for our Rapids water cups, and also the drone to fit along with the kayak.
Now I do want to say we have no idea of what this kayak is like. This is going to be our first impression. We got it about a week ago. It's been sitting in a box. We haven't opened it yet. We haven't tried to inflate it yet. So what you see us doing, this is our first impression of it. So I brought a pair of scissors just in case there's like wire ties. Who knows what's going to come into this. But let's start in here. Okay, so we have 2 sets of paddles.
That's good. We won't be up the creek without a paddle.
Now we got the double kayak. They do have a single version as well, but since there's 2 of us, we got the 2-person one. This, I believe, is a canopy. Yes, that's a canopy, so we're gonna put that on afterwards. There is a pump. I did bring an electric pump, but I don't know if it's gonna fit in here, but we're gonna try first pumping it with the manual pump because that's the beauty of having something inflatable. Maybe you don't have an area that you can get to your car battery or something like that. Okay, we'll put the box off to the side. I do like this storage bag.
That is small and compact.
Now, one thing I will say, we'll talk about pros and cons as we go throughout the day, but I would say this is kind of a flimsy bag. I feel like it might rip over time, but we'll see how it goes. We've got a dry bag, so you can put your stuff in here so it doesn't get all wet.
Ooh, I like that.
And let's see, yeah, so it looks like you can kind of fold it up like this and then snap it together. Instruction manual. Does anybody use instructions?
You better.
Patch kit, that's always good to have. We got a couple of fins. And then let's see, what else we got in here? Seats. We got some seats.
Nice.
And I guess this is gonna be our kayak.
Oh my gracious, look how tiny it's folded up.
Okay. Let's put everything so we don't lose anything back over into the bag for now.
Is that really going to be big enough for both of us to fit inside of it?
It does say it's got a pretty decent weight capacity. I forgot exactly what it is. I'll put it down below on the screen.
Oh, wow. Okay. As it folds out, I have hope.
Okay, so we've got the pump here. I don't know which order. I guess we're gonna start with the bottom. So these are already out, so we're gonna go ahead and just screw this in. And then we just, I guess, undo that part there. And then this pump's got a bunch of different pieces. Now we do have that electric pump, so we'll probably do that a little bit. But let's start with this one. So I guess it's gonna be easier to just do this.
It's actually pumping up pretty fast.
I was gonna say, this is really filling up quickly. Like, I'm kind of impressed.
Where were these pumps when I was filling up pool rafts all those years when the kids were little? Feels like the foot pumps from the past have really made me scared of foot pumps. I didn't think it would work this fast.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop there, and then we can always come back and do a little more. So I'll go ahead and take this off, and we'll screw this part on, and then we will move on to the other side. Why don't you go ahead and give it a try?
Let's see how easy it really is. I am pretty impressed with this air pump. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were gonna have to get the electric one out right away.
So I know we only have done the sides. We haven't done the bottom or the tips yet. But so far, I'm super impressed with how easy this was to inflate.
I cannot believe the air pump works this well, because I was really thinking we were gonna have to break out the electric one right away. And this is something that someone like my mom, who's in her 70s, would really be interested in. She loves to kayak, but sometimes it's very hard to just go for a day trip and have to carry the very laborious, hard-sided one. So she was interested in this, but I thought, how easy is it gonna really be to inflate it once you get to a place if there's no electricity? So I think pretty easy.
Let's go ahead and finish inflating it.
This is how you know you have properly inflated your kayak. You're gonna line up the ruler with your kayak. And as you can see, we've got it perfectly inflated. Okay, so they give you a third seat in case you bring like a little kid or a dog or something with you. So we don't have a third person today, so we're not gonna bother to inflate that because we're just gonna have to deflate it again. I think inflating the seat cushions was actually pretty easy. Helps if you have a second person because you're trying to be precise and keep it inside of the little hole while you're pumping it up. So it did help for me to be there to hold stuff. Although Joe was able to do it himself, it just took a lot longer. Okay, so now we're gonna put the seats into the boat. There's some Velcro here and it's matched down here. So we're just gonna set it in place. Super easy. And then we wanna keep the back rest forward, moving up. So we're gonna hook them into these little guys here.
And it looks like those are adjustable.
Yeah, definitely adjustable. And then I'm gonna give you some extra space here. And this is where you could put the third seat, but you wanna have a little bit extra leg room. Just gonna snap it in here. And here. And I think we're ready for an adventure.
We still have the canopy and then put together the oars. We almost forgot the fins. So I'm going to assume they go on the bottom, because that's where fins should go, right?
Well, unless you're a shark.
So let's see. I'm going to try it like this. It's got a little piece that you're going to press down, and that's going to lock it in place. So do the same thing. So you go from the back, from the front to the back.
Oop, you got a piece of grass in there.
Push it in all the way, and then just lock it in place. Let's check out this canopy.
I've never had a canoe or a kayak with a canopy before.
Now, I honestly don't know if I really want to use this today, but let's take a look at it anyway, and then we can always take it apart.
It's really nice if it starts to rain or if it's super sunny.
Right. Just like a regular tent, there is a place right here to put it in here, and then there's a strap that I'm assuming goes right there to kind of hold it on. Now, I will say this is probably easier if you have two people doing it, but we want to see, can you do it with one person?
Okay, so we got the canopy on. It did take two of us to get it on. I'm sure that there are smarter, cooler people who could just do a one-person install. It will work with one person doing it, but it was just so much easier for both of us to get in on it. We did learn you can't put it on backwards. You can't put the front in the back and reverse it, even though it's a canopy, because it just won't work properly. But now that it's on, I'm excited about it. Joe, not so much.
I don't want it over me. I feel like it's going to get in the way with us paddling. So we see how it works. I'd like to take it off so that we can go put the kayak in the water, because I want to launch the drone, and you're not going to be able to see us if the canopy is on.
But I totally see the value in it, and I can see times when I would want it. So we were just about to put the kayak into the water, and a very handsome gentleman stopped us and said, hey, there's actually better water a little bit deeper into the park. So we're here at Winding Waters, where there's just a little bit more kayak friendly waters for us to explore. Okay, so we ran into a couple of bull gators that were giving us some indications that they would like us to leave their area, and we respectfully turned our boat and headed the other way. But we did find that this was very easy to maneuver. I mean, obviously, since it's a two-person kayak, it's much easier for two people to carry it, but getting it in the water was a cinch, and it actually was very, very nice to paddle. We were able to maneuver it very, very well. It was a calm day. I don't know if you had like really rough waters, like if it would make it any harder to paddle, but I think that this fared really well in the water. And now we're gonna see, since it was easy to set up and easy to paddle, is it gonna be just as easy to tear down? So we're just gonna unscrew the 3 points of air. Okay, so we actually thought that this would be a pain, but all you need to do is just pick up the black piece that's on the inside of it, and it's gonna release the air. 1, 2, 3.
And it's gonna be the same thing for these black seats. Just grab it by the plastic and you can pull it up. So you have the other one as well. So you have the top piece, and then once you get that up, you just pull it like that.
So the first time I did this, I actually used my teeth, and turned out Joe found an easier way, and that's just pulling up on the plastic doohickey. Same thing for here. Just gonna pull it up and it's gonna deflate.
Now we just have to roll it up.
Okay, so as you can see, to my amazement, we were actually able to get it back in the bag. It really does fold up really nicely. It deflated very, very easily. We got the paddles apart. Everything fits inside. In fact, you can see it's not cramped in here. There's actually some loose space around. The problem is, just as Joe suspected, it's kind of a cheap bag. So as we put it in, the stitching went loose and the zipper actually fell off. So my advice would be, the Kayak is awesome. You just need to go to Walmart and maybe get a $5 duffel bag in order to store it long term. Okay, so because we ran into the gator before, we've decided to change locations just for safety. Wow, I thought it went quick with the hand pump. It goes way quicker if you got an electric pump. So with the electric pump, we were back in business, including the paddles, everything inflated 5 minutes.
I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb, a tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it, you took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together, together, together it's always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. We jumped off the subway leading nowhere. Your warm hands rubbed off the cold around me. I heard you say that everything is alright, but how did you know how I felt? You saw right through me that day. I was lost in space, but you pulled me down and wiped away those cloudy thoughts. I could see the sky when you were close to me. I can't believe what you brought. You took it, you took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together, together, together it's always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. I will always remember it. How you turned everything around.
But what did you think about the Valwix inflatable kayak?
I actually liked it, but you know what? On our keto channel, we have something called the 5 things review when we review products. Let's come up with a 5 things review for products here on our camping channel.
You want to do 5 things?
5 things, 5 things. So what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about quality.
Okay.
We're going to talk about ease of use.
Okay.
We're going to talk about accessories.
Okay.
How much does it cost? And finally, would we recommend it?
Okay, so number 1 is quality. Let's see, where can I go with quality? I think the quality is pretty good for it. I would say it is a mid-tier inflatable.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the quality of the vinyl, it's not one of those cheap $20 rafts that you're gonna buy in Walmart.
No.
But it's not one of those $300 inner tubes that you buy to pull behind a boat. It's kind of in the middle. I don't worry about it being punctured just as we're riding around, but
No.
I could see if it rubbed up against some rocks on the bottom or something like that, that you could possibly get a puncture, and I would probably carry the patch kit with me in the dry bag.
I would too, but I would do that anyway because of it being an inflatable. I found there to be kind of a range of quality depending on what item on the kayak you were looking at. So I thought the boat and the paddles, excellent. The bag for carrying it, not so much.
Right.
And also the canopy was great. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I feel like
it's a little bit of a pain to put together there.
it was a little bit of a pain to put together, and I'm not sure that it's really going to hold up to some sort of a rainstorm, or, you know, if it's going to provide the sun protection that you're hoping for.
Now, I will say, so I weigh 193 pounds, and
Ooh, you're never supposed to ask a woman how much that she weighs.
I was going to say you weigh a lot less.
Oh, thank you. I weigh 154 pounds, and there you go. That, I think, speaks to the quality, because you got more than 300 pounds inside of this, you know, boat, and it kept us up. We didn't, you know, have any water coming in over the edges. We weren't weighing it down, and we were able to launch very easily and get out of it very easily. And I thought that that was really a testimony to its quality.
Well, we're getting into number 2, which is ease of use, and I would say it's very easy to use. I was super impressed by how easily it inflated.
Blown away.
I brought 2 electric air pumps, thinking that I'm not gonna wanna blow this up with a hand pump, because I'm used to our inflatable paddle boards, and we tried the inflatable stand-up paddle board. We got about 2 minutes in and said, I want an electric pump.
No, but this foot pump, going back to quality, I was amazed at how easily it inflated. It inflated perfectly, and we didn't have any problems. If you've ever blown up a raft-like thing before, where every single time you disconnect, the air is coming out with it, we didn't have any of those problems.
Yeah, I think the valves and all of that were really good. It inflated easily. It deflated easily.
Yes.
Back to quality, I would say the pump, it was good, but it's not a top quality pump. It's like a couple of steps above the cheap pump you would get at Walmart. I would probably replace it with a better pump at some point, just because I feel like the plastic might be a little thin on the hose and stuff.
Yeah.
But it did its job, and it did it very well. As far as paddling, those fins really made it paddle.
It did.
I was operating the drone for a while, and Rachel was paddling by herself, and we were moving along pretty nicely so that I can control the drone. And, you know, if you've ever been in a 2-person kayak, it's a marriage breaker.
It is,
right?
It is. I mean, we had a tandem kayak for a long time, but because it wasn't so easy to like swing around or go in a certain direction, it caused a lot of fights, to the point where we had to get
sold
separates.
it and bought stand-up paddle boards.
Yeah, so I was very, very pleased that I could handle it, and there's really no arguing, especially if you've got 2 kids, you know, paddling together in this inflatable kayak. It's gonna be really easy for them to handle.
Number 3 is accessories.
Yeah, there's a lot of accessories that come with this. I mean, I was very pleased at the bag. I have it right here, because once you put all your purse stuff in here, I mean, this is the size purse that I actually want. This is a mom-sized purse, and we put cameras in it. We put our drones in it, some of the mini drones that we have, lenses in it. We dunked it in the water to just make sure that it wasn't gonna let any water in, and it kept everything super safe. And I really liked the fact that you could click this around whatever you want to attach it to, and it doesn't go anywhere, and you can, you know, paddle confidently knowing that all of your valuables aren't going to be lost at sea.
Yeah, so when you look at the fact that, you know, you got the kayak, it comes with the 2 seats plus a little cushion if you have a little kid in there. They do say you could bring a small dog in there. I would probably say no. I feel like the dog could puncture the you know, vinyl.
Of course,
I know Tabitha would, but she weighs 120 pounds.
I was gonna say, we have a giant black lab.
The rest of the accessories, the paddles are really good. The pump is like an average to, you know, entry level pump. The bag is probably the worst thing. I really like the addition of the fins, but overall, I think you get a decent amount of accessories. I think some people would like the sun canopy, me not so much, but I can definitely see if you have little kids or something like that, it could be a help to keep the sun out of your eyes.
Now, I think that the seats worked well, and I liked that it had the further attachments to make sure that you haven't just Velcroed it in place, but you've actually strapped it
did
upright.
hold your back up.
It held your back up, but if you have any back problems or soreness, I don't know that it's necessarily going to keep you, you know, as solid as a solid seat back would.
So before we move on to number 4, do me a favor, head down below and hit the like button on this video.
Do me a favor too.
What is that?
And subscribe to the channel, and also click the little bell button. That way every single time we upload a video, you'll be alerted to it.
Yeah, it really does help out the channel. And I do want to take a quick moment to thank Valwix for sending us this kayak for a review. Now, number 4, how much do they cost? So the 2-person kayak lists on Amazon for $250. I don't know if there's a coupon code. I will message the company, and if they give us one, I will leave a link for that down below.
And at the taping of this video, the single-person kayak is only $159, which I actually think is a great, like, entry-level price.
Yeah, so that brings us to number 5. Would we recommend it? And I'm gonna honestly say, for the price, for what you get, I would recommend it. You know, it's not a high-end quality inflatable kayak. Like, I can't compare it to like what our inflatable stand-up paddle boards are. You know, I wouldn't feel confident that it's not gonna pop if I hit up against rocks and stuff. But for what you get for the price, I think it's a good value, because I can tell you we have a couple of just like inner tube rafts that we've taken to like Rainbow Springs and stuff.
Yes.
And they were $50 a piece for a little inner tube.
Absolutely. I think it's going to depend a lot about where are you going with this. Yeah, if you're going someplace where there's a lot of like rocky, sharp-edged bottoms, then...
Or bull gators.
Yeah, or bull gators. Maybe that's not where you want to take this inflatable kayak, but I think this would be a perfect place for any of the springs. I would definitely take this to the beach. I think that this would be fun in Ocean Walker.
You live in pretty much any state other than the state of Florida.
Yes, a nice calm lake. This would be fantastic for families. And you know, we a lot of times will pay $30 an hour or $30 for 2 hours in order for us to use like a rental canoe or kayak. So I think that this is worth the money if you plan on going out more than a couple of times during the season.
Especially the fact that it rolled up. It actually fit back into the bag, though the bag did rip the first time we tried to put something into it.
Yes.
It actually fit back in the bag, which I struggled to get our paddle boards back into the bag.
Yeah, we do.
The fact that it fit in the bag, and the fact that it doesn't even take up a quarter of our trunk in our Volkswagen Jetta, that is pretty impressive. So I think it's a good thing just to have around. Like, I can definitely, it doesn't weigh a lot. I could throw it into the RV and feel like, you know what, hey, I don't even feel like taking the paddle boards on this trip. We may or may not go in the water, just have that and it's ready to go.
This is great for the under the bed storage that we have in our trailer, because yeah, I'm just gonna put it in there, forget about it, and then when we get to a park where we're like, oh shoot, they have beautiful water here, we should have brought something with us, we'll be like, hey, we've got something.
Yeah, so, well, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you like seeing videos like this, again, please do us a favor, hit the like button down below. It really does help build the channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell button, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time,
Happy camping.